Welcome to 5 Minutes with Jack, the ramblings of an insane entrepreneur, where I help you tie into your passion to generate profits by building a business that you love. Hey, welcome to episode 34 of 5 Minutes with Jack. Remember, you can get more information if you go to jackspirko.com, subscribe to the audio versions on iTunes and all kinds of good stuff. Today's podcast is a response again to a question, just like the last episode, that somebody at jackspirko.com asked me. And it was basically, hey, Jack, look, I've started doing a podcast, just doing an audio podcast. And as I've done that, I've gotten a new understanding of how difficult it must be for you to turn out a 1-hour show 5 days a week. You start scraping for content. And I have all this great content on my blog, all these great subjects and posts that I've done. What do you think about me going back and using that same material and turning it now into a podcast, or is that just redundant? It's a great idea, and today's show is more about reusing content in general than just this individual's question. Let's just start there and see how valuable it would be to do that. Okay, so you've worked all this time, you've done all this research, all this passionate creation of content that you like, and you've done it in a blog. A lot of people that are coming to your blog for the very first time today are never going to go back and read your old blog posts. Some of your best work is back there. So you could probably rewrite it and it would be effective. But when you change it into a podcast, make it audio and or audio video, you're going into an entirely different market. Some people love to read. I've said this before in earlier episodes. I've had people email me about my survival podcast and say, hey, can you make textual transcripts available of all your episodes? Folks, it's an hour a day. There's over 500 episodes. My answer to that is no. No, it's not for people that like to read. My show is for people that like to listen. So when you take a blog and you take a post that you've done, now look, I wouldn't just read your post, like use it like a script and sit there and go, today I want to talk to you about, because it's boring and it lacks passion and it lacks you. But if you just read your post, make it your outline, internalize it, think about it, and this is the important part, think of all the new things that fit with that topic that you've learned since you originally wrote it. Get passionate, get on that microphone or get in front of that camera and give people that information in a new way. The people that originally read it and loved it will love it. And the people that are more about listening or watching and listening that never read it in the first place, you reach a new audience. Now you take that podcast, you put it out on iTunes through your audio server, maybe you make videos of it like this and put it on YouTube, and you reach entirely new market segments. And you take that content you've already reused and you reuse it, and you change its format. I'm doing that right now, honestly, with 5 Minutes with Jack. A lot of this stuff is stuff I've blogged on in the past. I'm not necessarily tying it back to those blog posts, but I've talked about this stuff for years and years and years. I used to be really heavy into blogging about stuff about SEO and internet marketing, and I went away from that when I did the Survival podcast. So I'm going back and getting some of that. I've been doing a series here called Internet Marketing Landmines that revolves around a report that I originally authored in 2004. That's 6 years, going on 7 years ago now. And that content's still great. Now, things have changed, and when I talk about it, I add to it, I take certain things away, I re-explain things, I put new analogies and examples into them, but absolutely you want to be reusing your content. For you guys that want to do video and podcasting, there's a formula that works really well. Give a fact and tell a story to back it up. It's something I recently heard one of our members say on our forum at jackspirko.com, and I thought, well, that's really what I've always done. No one ever put it to me that way. But that's how you become a master communicator. You tell stories to integrate things. So, because see, here's the thing. You tell people facts, and they're impressed. You tell stories, and people remember. When you combine facts and stories, you give them information they can act on, and you tie it to something so that they can remember it, so that it stays part of them. That makes them more effective in using the information, and it makes you more effective in making them attracted to you. That's master communication, and you can reuse content over and over and over, especially if your content has changed in meaning or form, even with subtleties between what it meant 2 years ago and what it means today. If you're going to communicate with people on a daily basis around a tight niche, you're going to revisit certain subjects. It's completely okay. Completely reusing content is okay. Just add something to it. Make it new in some small way. Show people that you care about them enough that you're not just respitting the content out in a cut and paste fashion. that you're actually tailoring it to where you are today with your attempt to communicate with them. That'll build a lot of loyalty and a lot of brand behind you. With that, this has been another episode of 5 Minutes with Jack. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of 5 Minutes with Jack. To learn more, connect with our community, and get free resources to build your business, visit jackspirko.com.